Hey Cyclones fans, Everett Fitzhugh here, and I'm standing outside the Silverwood Presbyterian Church here in Madeira for the Madeira Farmers Market. We're going to head inside and see how one of your favorite Cyclones turned a hobby into a pretty unique business venture. Born and raised in Anchorage, Alaska, Cyclones defenseman Dax Lauwers has spent a lot of time in the great outdoors. He developed a love for commercial fishing at an early age, and that love looks to be setting him up for a very prosperous future with the creation of Alaska Direct.
Dax Lauwers, co-founder, co-CEO of Alaska Direct, and what I'm trying to do is change the way that Alaskan wild salmon gets distributed within the United States. So last summer when I was commercial fishing, we ended up selling our fish for about 50 cents a pound to the processor. I went to school at Northeastern in Boston, so I flew back there, went to the grocery store, and I saw wild Alaskan sockeye salmon, which we catch and sold for 50 cents a pound, being sold for 22 bucks a pound. So I called up my buddy Ryan. I was like, dude, let's do something about this. The original plan was to have a food truck. And then eventually we transitioned to being more of a distribution type company, and got into the frozen portions, full fillets, and then more recently smoked salmon. We're trying to change the way that you get your product, and instead of getting a product that's going to be sitting on the shelf at a grocery store for a while, we want to get you a product that gets frozen a few hours after it's caught and it doesn't get thawed until you put it on your countertop. I mean, it is the type of thing where I was one of, maybe 2 or 3 people in my high school that got to commercial fish, and a lot of that's really due to my dad, and even before that, my grandfather. My grandfather had a drift boat out in Bristol Bay called New Life, and then my dad, he started fishing out there when he was really young, and then when I was young, my dad kind of introduced me to commercial fishing. He was like, hey, would you have an interest in coming out to the bay and fishing? I was like, absolutely, I'd love to. So I went out my first year when I was 13, fished for a family friend named Kevin Taylor, and the Brown family, and they kind of introduced me to set netting, and I fell in love from day one, because it's the type of work where the harder you work, the more money you're going to make, and to me that's fun. I like to be rewarded for working hard, and there's a lot of similarities between commercial fishing and hockey. Like, you get out of it what you put into it, and I think that's why from day one I was hooked. Like, as you know, the company hasn't been around that long. We just got started in October, and it's like you really go through a grassroots stage of just shooting out emails to people, having conversations with people, and like for me it helps that it's an idea that I really am passionate about and I really love. So I mean, you could ask my friends, you could ask my girlfriend, they know, like, if I have a chance to talk about salmon, like I will. When I got here to Cincinnati, I was just thinking, hey, how can I get this out to people? So I just sent emails out to different farmers markets, and then just the one that had the most traction, Madeira, I went and sat down with Leah, told her about my business, and she's like, yeah, I think we can make something work. Next thing you know, had the booth. For me, I've always felt that I am a better hockey player because I've had a backup plan, and so I would call it kind of a sense of security. Like, hockey is a very unstable business, right? You never know what team you're going to be on. You don't know if you're going to get traded, cut, released, well, whatever it is. And because of that, I think that a lot of the uncertainty that you might have is you're able to forget about it a little bit when you know that, okay, I went to school, I have my degree, I have kind of a fallback. And so I really feel like that has made me a better hockey player, because I don't have to, there's not so much as like a worrying type feel. And so that's why I chose to go to school, is because, I mean, like you said, eventually hockey ends for everybody. Even people that play in the NHL, like, eventually they gotta go get a job doing something. And so to be able to play pro hockey while using the college route was, to me, the best option.